Good morning, friends. We are studying the chapter that is the classification of animals. In this chapter, in the previous video, we had discussed about the criteria for the classification of these animals. Yesterday, we had discussed about the grade of organization, that is cellular grade and all these. The new criteria for the classification of the organism is the body symmetry. We will see the body symmetry. What is the body symmetry? Before going through the type of a body symmetry that is present in the animal, firstly we should know the concept that is a symmetry or a body symmetry. What is the meaning of a body symmetry? It is nothing but it is the imaginary axis through which the body of animal can be divided into two equal parts. That is nothing but the body symmetry. On the basis of the type of a body symmetry, the animals, they are classified into the various groups. So what are these body symmetry? There are many animals which does not show the division into two equal parts. Such animals, they are called as the asymmetrical animal, or those animals they show the asymmetrical body. For example, all of you are familiar with the unicellular organism amoeba. What is the structure of amoeba? Amoeba does not have any particular structure or particular shape. So such animal, we can't divide such animal into two equal parts. So such animals, they are called as asymmetrical. Amoeba is a asymmetrical animal. Among the multicellular animals, the primitive animal, here you can see the structure of this animal. It is the cycon or a sponge. These are the sea creatures. Generally they are present at the bottom of the sea level, and these are among the primitive multicellular animals. Among the non-chordates, this sponge, it can't be divided into two equal parts through the vertical or horizontal plane, and such a body is called as a asymmetrical body. This cycon or the sponge, it shows the asymmetrical body. Here, though we cut this animal through this plane, it will not be divided into two equal parts. If we cut it through this plane also, it will not be divided into two equal parts. So such animals, they are called as the asymmetrical animal. The next type of the body symmetry is the radial symmetry. What is a radius? It is the axis which pass through the center of the circle. Okay, that is general definition of the radius. The radial symmetry is the axis which pass through the center of the animal, and through the center the animal, it can be divided into two equal parts. Such a type of symmetry is called as the radial symmetry. All of you are familiar with the animal starfish, which is having the 5 arms. The structure of starfish is just like that of the star, and if we cut it through the center or through the radius, then that animal can be divided into two equal parts. Here, this is the structure of the sea anemone, and through this radius, if it is cut into the pieces, it can be divisible into two equal parts. So such a type of symmetry is called as the radial symmetry. The next type of symmetry, that is the bilateral symmetry. All of you might have been familiar with this animal. Which is this animal?
Goat.
It is a goat. This is a goat, and it belongs to the mammals. It belongs to the mammals, and this animal, it can be cut into two equal parts through only one plane. And such a type of symmetry is called as a bilateral symmetry. Now you can easily tell me what type of symmetry human being is having. Our body, if we cut our body through this plane, then it can be divided into two equal parts. externally it can be divided into two equal parts. If we cut through in this way, then all our body parts, they can't be divided into two equal parts. So the bilateral symmetry is the symmetry in which the animal, it can be divided into two equal parts through only one plane. And such a type of symmetry, it is called as the bilateral symmetry. As we know that human being is among the most complex organism among the animal kingdom. Externally, suppose if we cut our body through this axis, then it can be divided into two equal parts. But what about our internal organs? Internally, we are also asymmetrical because our heart is present at this location. Here our heart is not present. So if we cut through this axis, then our heart can be divided into two equal parts. So there are many such organs which can't be divided. For example, our liver is present at this place, pancreas at this place. Okay, so if we cut it, divide our body, then it will not be divided. Externally we are also bilaterally symmetrical, but internally we are not bilaterally symmetrical. So in this way, on the basis of the symmetry, the animals, they are divided into three types: asymmetrical animal, radially symmetrical animal, and bilaterally symmetrical animal. Hope all of you have understand clearly what is the symmetry. Okay, now the next criteria which has been considered for the classification of animal is the germ layers. Now what are the germ layers? What happens whenever the new organism is formed after the sexual reproduction? The fusion of male and female gamete takes place, and there is the formation of a single cell structure that is called as the zygote. And this zygote then undergoes repeated mitotic division. It undergoes the repeated mitotic division, and there is the formation of embryo. Initially it is the undifferentiated mass of cell, but later on the differentiation has started and there is the formation of layers in the embryonic stages of development, and these are called as the germ layers. And the germ layers, the organisms, it may be diploblastic or it may be the triploblastic. What is a diplo? The word gives the meaning. Diplo means two germ layers, that is ectoderm and endoderm. If the ectoderm and endoderm only present, then the animal is called as a diploblastic animal. लक्षात घ्या, हे खूप महत्त्वाचं आहे. Diploblastic. Whenever we are studying each and every phyla, at that time we should have to go through these terms. So we should have to understand it in order to study the animal classification. Okay, so what is a diploblastic animal? The animal in which only two germ layers are present, they are called as a diploblastic animal. Which are the two germ layers? Ectoderm and endoderm. And triploblastic. Triplo means three. The animal where the three germ layers are present, that is ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, they are called as the triploblastic animal. In the animal kingdom, except the cnidarians, we have to study later on. Cnidarians means coelenterate. It is the second phyla among the non-chordate. Except the cnidarians, all the other phyla shows the triploblastic animal. Triploblastic, that we have to study in detail, and cnidarians, they are the diploblastic. Understand about the germ layers? As we study the all the phyla as well as the classes, at that time we can easily understand which animals are diploblastic and which are the triploblastic animal. So the next here we can see clearly the diploblastic and triploblastic animal. Look at here. Here in the diploblastic animal, here it is the ectoderm and here the endoderm. Mesoderm is absent. A dead layer is present in between the ectoderm and endoderm, but the only two germ layers, they are present here in the diploblastic animal. And what happens in the triploblastic animal? Here it is a ectoderm. Another layer is present, that is a mesoderm, and the third one is that is the endoderm. The three layers they are present. So diploblastic and triploblastic. These germ layers they are present in the embryonic stages of a development. They are present in embryonic stages. Now the next criteria which has been considered whenever the classification is done, that is the body cavity. What is the body cavity? Body cavity means the space in between the gut and the endoderm, that is called as the body cavity. And those organisms where the body cavity is present, they are called as a eucoelomate animal. Eucoelomate animal. And pseudocoelomate, the false body cavity is present in certain phyla that we have to see later on, that these are called as the pseudocoelomate. And the third one is acoelomate. Acoelomate means body cavity is absent. Body cavity is absent. Look at here, as we are among the most advanced animal, all our internal organ, they are present in the hanging position. They are present in the hanging position. I had already told you, whenever the classification or about animal study is done, at that time I had already told you that all our internal organs like stomach, intestine, then kidney, and all these organs, they are in the hanging position in the abdominal cavity. And this abdominal cavity is nothing but the body cavity. The cavity which is present, or the space which is present in between that endoderm and the internal organs, that is nothing but the body cavity. And this body cavity, it is present among the organism. Those organisms where the body cavity is present, they are called as the eucoelomate. Eu means true coelom. True coelom or body cavity. The meaning of coelom means that is body cavity. Okay, and the pseudocoelomate. Pseudo means false. Pseudo means, what is the meaning of pseudo? Pseudo means false body cavity is present. That is called as the pseudocoelomate animal. And the acoelomate. Acoelomate means the animal without body cavity. They are called as the acoelomate animal. So you can see easily the presence of the body cavity. Here these are the animals. You can easily understand. This eucoelomate animal. This, can you identify the animal? Zoom it. This eucoelomate animal, here it is the earthworm. Okay, this animal is a earthworm. Here the body cavity is present. Okay, so this is the body cavity which is present in the earthworm. Here the pseudocoelomate animals, this is that is Aschelminthes. It belongs to the Aschelminthes. And Ascaris male and female, we have to study in detail all this. And the third animal, which is this? In the last video I had told, planaria. It is a planaria. Okay, now you look at here. Planaria, it belongs to Platyhelminthes. Then Ascaris, it belongs to Aschelminthes. And earthworm, it belongs to Annelida. Now friends, from the Annelida onwards, after Annelida there is the Arthropoda, then Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. The true body cavity is present. This is for your remembrance. तुम्हाला आठवण ठेवण्यासाठी. अर्थवर्म पासून जे पुढे आहेत म्हणजे annelids, from annelids onwards, all the phyla, they shows the true body cavity. Eucoelomate, all they are the eucoelomate. Okay, so in this way the body cavity is present. Now the next criteria which is considered, that is the body segmentation. All of you are familiar with the earthworm. All of you might have seen it. It shows the segments. Body segmentation is present. So segmented or asegmented animal, in this way the body segmentation, it is also considered whenever the classification it is done. Now this is the last slide from this video. You can make the zoom and see Firstly here it is a kingdom Animalia. Okay, this is a chart from your textbook. You can see it in a textbook. So the first, that is a kingdom Animalia. This kingdom Animalia, it is a divided into the different classes as well as a phyla on the basis of the criteria. The first criteria here considered, that is the body organization, that is a grade of organization, cellular grade, then protoplasmic, then that tissue organ grade of organization. So here it is a organization which is divided broadly into cellular and tissue organ and organ system grade of organization, that we have discussed in the previous video. Then second point which is considered here, that is a body symmetry. Body symmetry, asymmetrical body, radial symmetrical body, bilateral. Now look at here. Those animals which shows the cellular grade of organization, they shows the asymmetrical body. They shows the asymmetrical body, and this tissue organ and organ system grade, they are again divided into radially symmetrical animal and a bilaterally symmetrical animal. The next point that we have considered, that is a body cavity or a coelom. Body cavity or coelom. Here in a cellular grade or asymmetrical body containing animal, they does not show the body cavity. They are included in the first phyla among the non-chordate, that is a Porifera, that is sponge or a cycon. Then radially symmetrical animal, they also does not show the presence of the body cavity. They are included in the Cnidaria, which is also called as a Coelenterata or a Cnidaria. Okay. Then bilaterally symmetrical animal, they again divided into acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and eucoelomate. Acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and eucoelomate. This acoelomate animal means those where the body cavity is absent, they are divided or they are included in the Platyhelminthes. This is the third phylum. This is the third phylum, Platyhelminthes. The pseudocoelomate, they are included in the Aschelminthes. You know Ascaris, just now I had told you about that. And then the eucoelomate animals, they are divided into the next I think 6 phyla: Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. Okay, so in this way the non-chordates, they are classified. Students, whenever we will study these phyla, all the phyla, at that time we should have to remember it sequentially. That is Porifera, Coelenterata or Cnidaria, then Platyhelminthes, then Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, then Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata. Okay, and in this way, last one, that is the Chordata. So in this way, we can clearly understand the criteria which has been used for the classification. In the next video, we will see in detail about that Porifera. Okay, thank you.